Hello, my name is Zachary Perry, and I'm going to be giving a presentation on injuries that can be common in the sport of diving. Let's begin. The first type of injury that is commonly referred to as is known as gamekeeper's thumb. This can happen in a wide range of sports, but generally happens when an object or something forces the thumb into a hyperextended position, causing the ligament to rip. There are different sports that they said this can be seen, but for example, one sport is soccer. For a goalie, if someone's dribbling down and going to shoot the goal, and they shoot and it hits the thumb, and it hits the thumb just perfectly where it pulls back, and just said it can rip the ligament. In the sport of diving, it can happen if you're going in for your entry positioning when hitting the water. You go to line up, but you misplace your hand, causing your thumb to go over the opposite hand. Then when you hit the water, your hand rips back and causes that ligament to tear. This is just a picture of what gamekeeper's thumb looks like from the ulnar collateral ligament that has torn away from the bone. Now, the anatomy of this injury. Although people commonly refer to it as gamekeeper's thumb, the actual injury is from the ulnar collateral ligament is torn away from the insertion of the proximal phalanx of the thumb. The quickest and most effective way to test for gamekeeper's thumb is to move the thumb in about 30 degrees of flexion. If there's less than 30 degrees of flexion, then there is most likely this injury has not happened. You're also able to see by testing by sensation to see if it's touching or feeling it just aggravates the individual. The next one is spondylosis. Now, this type of injury is a stress fracture in the bones of the lower spine. It's commonly seen in sports that use a lot of compression, spinning, twisting, overall just a lot of spine flexion, extension, and rotation while they're trying to have a great load to overcome it. One place that has been seen in diving is when competing off the 10-meter platform. If you do not hold your core tight and you hit the water, it can cause a stress fracture in your back. This is just a picture of where one spondylosis type of fracture can be seen, but they can be seen all through normally the lower 5 of the lumbrical vertebrae. Assessments. Now, the spinal stress fracture is a fracture, like I said, that it can be seen in the lumbar spine. The quickest way to try to find it is an X-ray, but these are not always super accurate. So typically, the best and most accurate way to see it is through an MRI. Lastly, the torn rotator cuff. This happens when the athlete has a weak or sore shoulder, causing when they do rotation or internal or external rotation to a quick degree, causing that muscle to tear from the shoulder. This is actually a fairly common injury. You see it in a lot of sports like baseball, softball, just a lot of sports that you see a large shoulder modality. In diving, you can see it like the same. If your shoulders are not strong and well protected when you go in for your lineup, if you're not really tight with that entry positioning and you're just loose, the water can physically rip your shoulders out of that entry positioning and causing a tear, causing part of your muscles to rip. The rotator cuff happens in one of the tendons in your shoulders, the tendons between your infraspinatus, supraspinatus, and subscapularis, or teres minor. Any of these 4 ligaments can be seen in the injury. One of the quickest and most effective ways to be able to tell if this injury has happened is to have the individual reach back like they're trying to put their seatbelt on, or rotating their arm over the head. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.